This is the plaintiff, Walter Audette. He says the defendants are refusing to return his security deposit because he was caught smoking in the apartment one time. When he moved out, he made sure the place was clean as a whistle and that it smelled like a daisy, but still, he can't get the defendants to return his security. He's suing for $1,100. The amount is owed. These are the defendants, Cheryl and Bob Levy. Cheryl says they constantly smelled smoke in their house. They would confront the plaintiff. He would lie and say it wasn't him. And after 2 years, they've had it. They eventually kicked him out. The place stunk of smoke, and they had to hire someone to steam the walls and paint. The money they spent was way more than the plaintiff's security, and they owe him nothing. They're accused of burning up a former tenant.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says the defendants kept his security because they caught him smoking just one time. But the defendants say the plaintiff smoked like a chimney. It's the case of your cigarette just went puff, and so did your security.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Audette, you're suing your former landlords because they won't return your security deposit.
Yes.
All right. How much is a security deposit?
$1,100.
And how long did you live there?
Almost 3 years.
Did they live in the same building?
Yes.
So is it a two-family home?
One family assessment.
One family home, and you were living where?
Basement.
Okay. So did you guys enjoy a pretty good relationship when you lived there?
I thought so.
All right. Were never any problems while you lived there?
Not that I know of.
Well, but apparently they caught you smoking inside, which they told you not to, right?
Yes.
How did they catch you?
He peeked in the window.
Oh. They caught you doing what you were supposed to do.
Basement
How did you
apartment.
catch him? You looked in the window and you see him smoking where?
In his bedroom.
Okay. Had you told him that there was no smoking in there?
Yes, that was told way up front when we first came for the apartment.
In fact, according to you, you advertised it.
For a non-smoker.
So why did you end up renting it to a smoker?
He seemed like a nice enough fellow.
How did he, like, when he answers the ad, don't you say, well, he's a nice enough fellow, but he can't read. I said non-smoking.
I did say that, Your Honor.
Right.
I said, are you a smoker? And he said, yes, but I will never, ever smoke near or the premises.
All right, I'm one of those people, I won't even date a smoker. I could never in my life, I could not date a smoker because it bothers me so much. And there are people who it bothers, and there are people who it doesn't bother that much. You strike me as the people it bothers, and that you probably should have been more careful about that. Now, according to you, I think you state that you caught him more than one time, that your son caught him another time.
Yes, he was seen several times, and
We have it. We have a list.
Just
of how
talk to
many-
me. When was the second time you caught him?
he was seen doing it many times.
By whom?
By me. I'd sit
Tell me about other times you saw him.
I would sit in my den watching TV, and the smell would just come along the house. He would smoke down by his stairs, or would come as he'd walk past the house. The smell would come in all the windows.
Okay, but that wasn't him smoking inside, is it?
It was him smoking inside, but this was times outside as well. The whole place was horrible to do.
So he was on a month-to-month or on?
Well, it was month to month.
Okay, so at some point you tell him you got to go. We can't do this anymore.
I did.
All right. And what day did you move out?
August 3rd.
Okay, and what day did you customarily pay rent? For the first?
Yeah.
So you stayed 3 days in August? Did you pay rent for August?
Well, yeah, you got my deposit.
Yes or no?
No.
So we should just use the deposit for rent in August then, right? Because he's got your deposit. That was the answer you just gave. And yet that's exactly what you're suing for, knowing you left August 3rd. Your actual reason for keeping the deposit is not even that he owes you August because he spent 3 days in August, but that the place was a shambles, right? What was wrong with the place?
It wasn't that it was a shambles. It was the smell.
Stunk.
He was very good with the walls. He didn't damage anything. The only damage he did was from the smoke.
Your Honor, we even have a picture when we had when the cleaning teams came, and we have the receipts. Who had to scrub these kitchen cabinets.
Do you have photos of the place?
Yes, I do.
Let me see the photos.
This is the amount of nicotine and soot that came off the cabinets.
Oh, yeah.
And prior to that, he only lived in that apartment for 28 months, and it was brand new when he moved in. This is a picture of the cleaning
How'd that
truck.
happen? The one time you smoked there? The one time you got caught?
Yeah.
That's the one time you smoked
This is the cleaning
inside.
truck who had to pull up to our home and steam clean the floors and the walls before we could even paint.
Yeah, because you don't want to capture that in the paint.
And this is also a text from Mr. Audette where he asked us, well, several times we asked him to move, and he had suffered a stroke in February. And my
sorry to
husband and
hear
I sympathize with that. He sent a text to us that he was using us as a reference, and not to mention to the new landlord that he smoked because he's going to quit. And he also asked us to lie about his stroke and to say that he had a knee problem, that he wasn't
Why
limping.
would a landlord care if he had had a stroke?
Well, he told the new landlord that he only moved from our apartment because he could not meander the stairs leading down to the basement.
Okay.
And I have the receipts.
Please don't mention the cigarettes because I am quitting bin 3 days. I didn't tell her about the stroke. I just told her I hurt my knee. That's not asking you to lie about the stroke.
Exactly.
And that's not really asking you to lie about whether I mean.
The woman wanted to know if he was a smoker because he said that he was a
Did you tell her he
non-smoker.
was, or did you keep your mouth
No,
shut?
we kept our mouth shut.
No, what not? You didn't keep your mouth shut. You answered the question. What'd you say?
Can a landlord prohibit somebody from smoking in an apartment?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But why if it's legal?
Well, property management, like I did for 17 years, if you smoke in your apartment, you're done.
But why if it's legal?
I mean, I guess this is the Vanguard rules, so the rules is rules. If you sign the document to say that's the rule, it is what it is.
That's a good point. Well put, and we're going inside the courtroom.
I said that he didn't smoke.
Ooh, so you lied to get him
Shame
out of
on
your
me.
place
Well, we were
and
so
made him someone
anxious.
else's problem.
Judge,
Gotcha.
we were so anxious because he didn't want to leave.
Sure, no. He needs to become that lady's problem. You got to lie to her, and then, you know.
And I have it all documented here each time that my husband spoke to him about
Okay,
the smoking.
first of all, let me see if I understand this correctly. I asked you if you paid August because you spent 3 days there. The law is that if you spent the first day there, that's it. They can't rent it to somebody as of August 1st because you're already there. You're there 3 times that. You're there 3 days. And when I looked you in the eye and said, did you pay August rent? You go, they had my security deposit. So they can keep your security deposit for August.
Right.
But they're keeping it because this shenanigans of you smoking in the house cost them how much?
The bill.
$1,500
Which
and
is
some odd
more,
dollars.
and inexplicably they don't have a counterclaim, which is more than what your security is.
Can I
So
say-
tell me, on what planet would you see any money back?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Identify the planet.
I don't know how many occasions he claims that I smoked in his apartment.
No, oh, he does.
Wait.
Yeah.
And I told him, when you smell cigarette smoke, to come on down. I don't care what time of day it is. You can walk right in my house, right in the apartment.
They had to hire a company
bull.
in order to really, because
Yeah.
there's the company.
I don't believe
Show me
it.
the receipt.
I don't believe it because I
receipts are
didn't
right
smoke
there,
in the
Your Honor.
apartment.
And here's the receipt. And
know
here
what,
are
Your
all
Honor?
the. You don't believe it? Which you want to believe? You or
No,
my lying
I
eyes?
don't
Which
wanna
eyes
see
do you
it
want to
because
believe?
I don't
Do you see
care.
the truck and the? Yeah, and I don't either. You owe the money for August. Let alone the discoloration, the illegal smoking inside of an apartment that was a complete violation of the lease. My verdict in this case is for the defendants.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, things did not go too well for the plaintiff in this case. He was suing for $1,100 and you get zip. What are you thinking?
But what they're saying I didn't do.
But you smoked.
Yeah, but
that-
I never smoked in an apartment just
Come on.
once.
Just one time.
One time.
In 28 months.
Yeah. I will take a lie detector test to it right now.
Okay. Well, that's what you say.
I know it's true. I don't care what they say.
Well, what do you say to that? He said he'd take a lie detector test. Stand over here so we can see it.
We're just happy.
What? Over here.
We're just happy that he's
He's
out of
out.
our home.
Right.
It's a legal accessory apartment. It filtered right upstairs. We were coughing. We didn't realize the terrible effect that it was having on us. The entire apartment was just filled with that smell.
Just a very funny thing. The time I caught him smoking, he says to me, Bob, that was the very first time I smoked here.
Isn't that odd?
And I was born at night, but it wasn't last night.
We're 67. We learned our lesson.
We learned it.
Good
Don't
enough.
feel sorry for people.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, good enough.
Thanks
Thank you.
very
Hope
much.
hope the apartment's clean now. Yes, it is. All right, Harvey, what do you think?
Okay, even if they let you smoke, you're responsible for damage such as discoloration of walls. You're going to have to repaint the place.